Well, the U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken has called the International Criminal Court's move to request arrest warrants for Israeli leaders, quote, a profoundly wrong-headed decision. Israel denounced the ICC on Monday after the court's chief prosecutor requested a warrant for the arrest of Israel's prime minister and the defense minister over the war in Gaza. Now, in a statement, a spokesperson for Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu urged, quote, nations of the civilized free world to oppose and condemn the decision. Several of Israel's other Western allies have also criticized the court's move, saying that it equates Israel's actions in Gaza with Hamas's October 7th terrorist attack. Well, I'm joined now by Luis Moreno Ocampo, the founding prosecutor, the first chief prosecutor of the International Criminal Court. Mr. Ocampo, it's good to have you with us. I want to just start by asking you, what did you think yesterday when the chief prosecutor, Mr. Khan, when he announced that he is seeking arrest warrant for Israeli and Hamas leaders?
Well, I'm grateful that we have an International Criminal Court because it's a judicial institution. The prosecutor is doing his job. Now, 3 judges will review the evidence and in some way put order, no? The law is the law. No one can commit war crimes or crimes against humanity. And if someone do it, the ICC has jurisdiction, it's intervening. So I think it's providing order.
The case that the chief prosecutor wants to build against Netanyahu and the Israeli defense minister Gallant. I mean, if you read through it, it's talking about attempts to starve the people in Gaza, starvation. It is not an accusation of genocide. That's a correct read, right?
Yeah, he did not charge genocide. He charged war crimes and crimes against humanity, but that's very serious charges, no? No.
And so the reaction to that, what we've seen in the last 24 hours, U.S. President Biden, he has called the move by the chief prosecutor outrageous, saying we're talking about false equivalencies here if you're putting Israel in the same basket as Hamas. Now, I understand that the chief prosecutor said in an interview with CNN's Christiane Amanpour yesterday that he made the announcement yesterday in an attempt to be fair and balanced. That means including Hamas and the Israeli leaders in the same announcement. Was that the right decision, in your opinion?
Well, President Biden's opinion is a political opinion, but it's interesting because President Biden knows there is starvation there. That's why President Biden is building a port to provide food and water in Gaza. So what he sees as humanitarian assistance, the prosecutors see, okay, it's a war crime of starvation. That's simple. And I would say prosecutor charged Hamas with war crimes and crimes against humanity. Very important. And then a different crime for Mr. Netanyahu and Mr. Gallant. But they are still innocent. They have the right to go to court. So this is the beginning of the process. They are innocent, but it's very important. Let justice work.
Yep.
Now, there are... Yep.
I was just going to say, Mr. Ocampo, but what about the optics of this? No one is disputing perhaps the facts on the ground, but the optics, having this announcement include the Israeli leaders and the Hamas leaders. One can argue that maybe it wasn't the right decision considering what the public opinion is at the moment in Gaza.
Well, when you are the ICC prosecutor, people will criticize you whatever you do. If Mr. Khan prosecutes just Hamas, half of the world will say, wow, how are you ignoring Netanyahu?
Yeah.
If he just prosecutes Netanyahu, half of the world will say, how are you ignoring Hamas? If he prosecutes both at the same time, oh, why you do this? Come on. Mm-hmm. He's doing his job. It's important he present a very strong case. Something very important he did, he requested a group of advisors to check his case, including Theodore Moreno, who was a victim of the Nazi regime. He was in a labor camp. He was a legal advisor of Israel. So you cannot believe Theodore Meron is anti-Semitic. So we are talking about international law, criminal law. That's what they are doing. Political comments are political comments.
Yeah.
This is very important. Law has to be respected.
I also wanted to get your thoughts on what we've heard from Washington. Republican lawmakers, they have threatened to sanction the ICC. At the same time, Secretary of State Blinken has said that he will work with Congress to formulate what he has called an appropriate response. Should the court be worried about any type of act by the United States to punish it for this decision?
Well, for me, the world should be worried that one country is threatening to prosecute judges or prosecutors for doing their job. I think that is worrying.
Mr. Ocampo, we appreciate your time tonight. Looks like we've lost the signal there, but we appreciate that's Luis Moreno Ocampo, the first chief prosecutor at the ICC. Thank you, Mr. Ocampo.